So I've wrote down a lot of thoughts. If you see me dipping my head, it's probably because I'm reading straight off of my sheet. If you're just on audio, you won't know any difference. We'll kind of just start going through some of my thoughts. Some of the things that Andy said, I kind of wrote it word for word because I didn't think there was a better way to say it. So again, if you've already listened to his, this is going to be a little redundant, but I know we have a different audience. So part of this episode, I talk about, don't stand on the sidelines and let someone else talk for you. It's time to carry the bucket. It's time to get behind your own thoughts and be loud about it. He titled his, United We Stand, Divided We Fall. Again, if you want to go listen to his episode, I know we have a different audience. He is a little more colorful with his language than I am. That's your warning if you need one. So first of all, I want to start out, again, how he starts out. He kind of talks about it doesn't matter if you're Republican, if you're Democrat, black, white, gay, straight, whatever your beliefs are, whatever your background is. I believe that the way that our life is now is in jeopardy. The way that we live in America is in jeopardy. Everything that you've enjoyed being American is in jeopardy. It's all at risk. Look around you, look at all the hate, look at all of the arguing, look at the, no one can agree with anyone on anything. Everything is offensive. I'm kind of tired of it. I think that being American is what brings all of us together. It's the one label that we can create for ourselves. It's not a label that anyone else can put on us. It's not a label like black or white. It's not a label like gay or straight. It's not, these are the labels that are put on us by, they, right? So who is they? We'll kind of get into who they are. When America says we the people, it doesn't include they. Who they are the, the social media platforms that are censoring us. They are the corrupt politicians. They are, close your eyes and look around. Where's the chaos coming from? That's who they are. So people like to get mad about things like this and they say, well, yeah, but who is they? Well, that's who they is. So don't come at me with that. So again, look around, see where all the division's coming from, where the hate's coming from. Look at the hate, look at the chaos. Is it manufactured? Is it true? Is it something you believe in, or is it something that you're told? The reason they do this, and I started calling this out in 2020. The reason they do all of this is because they know the more that we're divided, the easier it is to control us and conquer us. If you don't think that's happening, close your eyes, look around. I think it's fairly obvious. I think that COVID exposed a lot of that. At least it did for me. I mean, we've basically been programmed and, what I would call tricked. We've been tricked into disagreeing with each other. We've been tricked into hating each other. Where, I'll say this a number of times, where that's what America is. I mean, that's what America came from, is the differences that are good is what made America America. It's what we all loved. It's what made us strong, is everyone coming together. What I care about is freedom. First of all, I care about my freedom, my wife's, my son's. I care about yours. I care about my other family, my friends. And I think that when you look around, everyone's hating each other and everyone's screaming at each other. And when I say look around, what I mean is everything that they are putting in front of us. That's the news, that's the media, that's large corporations that push their agendas on their employees that don't have a choice. And that's a whole nother tangent. People that don't have a choice. What I mean by that is people, what I call the golden handcuffs. It's, you got so many years in, you've got retirement, you have health benefits, where in all reality, there are other ways to lead your life to not be handcuffed. But I mean, that's a whole nother episode. I mean, I've kind of done that with my life. So we'll get back on what I was talking about. Yeah. So we all scream at each other. We all hate each other, and that's what they're putting on us. But I think deep down, we all care about the same things. They want us to believe, they trick us to believe that we hate each other, that we're the enemy of each other. But we can all agree on, I think if not all, almost all of us can agree on the same things that we care about, the same real issues. Like we have a local election coming up. We are coming up on an election year. And I think all these things, like, people need to be aware of this stuff. They need to be aware of the real issues. Like Andy, I agree that the real issues are, for first of all, freedom, our economy. If you don't think the economy's changed in the last couple of years, then shoot me a message and let's talk about it. I mean, I can tell you just off the gas billboard that it's changed. I can tell you in the real estate market it's changed. I can tell you that there are incentives that were given to us a couple years ago when we had a different presidency in that have changed now. And those incentives would push the economy, and now they're either decreasing or taking them away. So I think we can all agree on what those main issues are, and there's a couple more, and I'm sure there's some I'm missing. I mean, if you think there's another one, throw it in, throw it in the comments. Let's talk about it. But what do we all argue about? What do we all fight over? And the number one thing, and it comes around every 4 years, is we fight about race. We fight about who we're attracted to. We fight right now. There's a big contentious issue about if we should be involved in, the Ukraine war and what they're covering up out there or not covering up. We'll bring Blake on maybe next episode and talk about how Maui gets hammered, and we'll talk about some conspiracy stuff with Blake. But my thought is we're sending, unfathomable amounts of money to Ukraine, and then we have this happen to Maui, and I believe no comment was the quote from our fearless leader. So this isn't even like a crap on Democrats thing. It's not even a crap on, the president. Really, I'm just saying, like, none of that stuff really matters is what I'm getting at. I believe that if we can't come together, that we'll lose America. I think that we'll lose the freedoms that we are used to, the freedoms we take for granted. We'll lose everything. We'll lose what America stands for. And I think we're already down that road. Again, I think it's my turn to stand up and say what I believe in, not let guys like Andy and other people carry that for me. I think what everyone needs to do is you really just need to stop. If you can stop and think and look and see what makes you angry, if you can see what agitates you and think, am I really mad? Am I really angry? Or is this, being pushed on me? Am I being told to be angry? I think if we can just realize that one thing and be self-aware of that one thing, it'll change a lot of stuff. If you realize that you're just being told to be angry, look a little deeper and you'll start seeing that they steal our time, they steal our money, they steal a little bit of freedom. Every time a new law or bill goes in, not every time, but it seems like every time that we're scared and we want to have more protection, we actually lose freedom. Go look at the Patriot Act if you think that's false, and we can talk about that if someone wants to. I bring this up, and I hate the solo episodes. I'm not great just standing and monologuing, but I bring it up on my podcast because, I've built the platform to what it is now, and I feel like I have an audience that will hopefully still be with me right now and listening to what I have to say. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of everyone arguing about stuff that doesn't matter. I'm tired of not only that, I'm tired of people getting so sucked into that they can't become a better person, that they can't become self-sufficient, that they blame everything on that they become a victim, that, these things happen to them. So I think what you can do to help is if you work every day on what you think it means to become the best American, the best human, the best mom, the best dad, the best example. Andy always talks about personal excellence. I think that's what everyone should be striving to. I have conversations with people where just in a roundabout way, that's not what they think we should be striving to. That, normal's fine. Being content is fine. And I think that's part of the problem. I think that being content is part of the issue. I think we're being told that being average is fine. I think that couldn't be further from the truth. Once you get to that point, what you need to be doing is telling people you need to, and I still have things to work on. I'm not perfect. I I have a lot of physical health that I could still be working on. It's the one thing I lack. I've been open about it on the podcast. I feel like I'm fairly solid in a lot of areas, but the one area that I'm still working on is that. So don't think I'm sitting here thinking I'm perfect telling you guys to be better, because that's not it. I'm also included in that. But once you get there, or once you start getting there, people start noticing, which again is the conversations I've been having, is people are noticing. You need to start talking to people around you. You need to have the conversations. You need to have the hard conversations. You need to tell people that average isn't good enough. It's not an easy conversation to have. But it's inevitable if you're climbing. And I mention him a lot on this podcast, but like I think about Eric Gubler, and I mean, that's where he's at to me. Like I feel like I'm kind of chasing him. So shout out to Eric. If you're listening to this, thanks for giving me something to chase.